What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna do a video on how much did it cost to build my Rico Pico 2.0 tank. Stay tuned. But first, I am going to clean this tank. So now you can see the tank. I just fed the gobies a little bit of flakes, and you can see now they're all out and about. The tank has received some well-deserved cleaning and maintenance and a water change. So what did this tank cost me to put together and build? So I put together a little brief list. I'm just gonna show you the tank while I go over the list. So I will start with the tank itself. The vase I bought at AC Moore on sale, and I purchased it for around $15. Now, if you were following me prior to this specific one, you do know that this is the second go around for building this setup. The first time I built this out of the same vase, it cracked, and I had to start all over and purchase a new one. So $15. The refrigerant down here, which has the grow light attached to it. Let's turn the light on here. That ran me $9, but I'm rounding up to 10 on sale as well at AC Moore. The grow light was $10. The rubble in the main tank, I already had purchased this. I had them just sitting here. I bought them off BRS. They go for around $2.70 per pound. I'll say maybe there's around 2 pounds in here, and I'll chalk that up to $5. Moving down, the sump, I purchased this container from Walmart. I believe it costs around $10. I don't have exact numbers for some of this stuff, but pretty much it is a food storage container for like pets and stuff like that, for dry goods, and that's what I used. The return pump in here is around $15. The ATO, which sits down here, is a $60 ATO. It is a Innovative Marine ATO. So the ATO down here is an Innovative Marine ATO. I had it on my main display, but I moved it over here because it was very reliable and I wanted something that wouldn't fail. The pump down there I bought off Amazon. I would say it's probably around $5. Moving back up, The sand in this aquarium I purchased from my LFS, Something Fishy, located in Northampton, Pennsylvania. And that ran me around, I would say, $10. I purchased 2 pounds of it. The livestock in the tank, the 2 gobies together cost around $50. They're around $24 a piece. And that would be a shark nose ORA goby and a yellow lined ORA goby. The frags in this tank, I fragged off of my main tank, but I'm gonna put a price on them. There are 2 euphyllias and 2 Zoroarks. The 2 euphyllias probably gonna go around the price range $15, $20 a piece. One's a hammer and one is a frog spawn. I just chalked them up to around $30. The Zoroarks, I chalked them up to around $10 a piece, giving me a grand total of $20. The peppermint shrimp in here are around $6 a piece. I have 2 of them, so that's around $12. I actually forgot to introduce these into my calculations, but I rounded up, so it should account for them. Emerald crab, he's around $4, and the blue leg hermit crabs are around $1 a piece. And I have around 4 in here, if I'm not mistaken. The Astrea snail is $1. And that's pretty much it for the main tank. The bulkhead is probably around $3, and the strainer as well, bringing that to a total of around $6. Moving up to the Asta 20 light. This is a $60 light. I already had it as auxiliary lighting on my main display, but I pulled it off of there and put it onto this. Now, I will do a later video about this light because I'm kind of having somewhat of an issue, and I will explain. So, remember I said around $6 for the bulkhead and strainer. I have 2, so that's around $12. Moving down to the sump. The refugium, I apologize, those as well have 2 bulkheads. That's another $12. And yeah, that's about it. There's some algae in there, probably around $5 worth. Down the filter is DIY. It's using a urinalysis cup, and that I already had, so I didn't really put a price on that. The heater in there is around $15, as well as the return pump, and the controller, which is this probe you see right here, is a heater controller, and that is $30. Moving to the stand, the wood for the stand probably cost me around $10 in total, as I use 1x3s, and those come in 8-foot lengths. I also have screws. I charge screws around $10. I use decking screws for the most part, and then I have 2 hinges, which ran me around $3. So I mean, that's the majority of it. The little temperature probe up here is probably around $4 or so, $5, and that's essentially it for the tank, I believe. So yeah, so I did add it up. Like I said, I had forgot a few things in there, but I'm gonna round up, and I will say this tank cost me just under $400 to piece together, and that's livestock included. Everything in here on this tank was around $400. The plumbing was around $30. So yeah, so that's how much it cost me to build. Now, I could have definitely built this for a lot cheaper, but I kind of wanted to do it this way, and that's the way I did it. So let me know what you would have done a bit differently. Future plans for this tank is to definitely upgrade the return pump to a JCOD 2000. I'm running one currently on my 2-in-1 tank. I will do a video on that tank separately, so you can see what I'm talking about. But essentially, this pump does not have enough flow, and I will definitely need to upgrade that. as well as I believe the J-Cod will be a little bit quieter. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of show on the livestock in here. Now bear in mind that I just did a water change. The water temperature is not ideal. It's around 73 degrees, but I like to keep mine around 76. So everyone's kind of out and about, but they're not in their true happy-go-lucky moods as of the moment. And I will stop talking now. So there you go, guys. There's a quick sneak peek of the tank. This is going to be kind of an informal April update for Rico's Nano Tank Challenge. I did move a lot of things around. I reduced some of the rock. Well, most of the changes in this tank were as a result of accidental issues. Knocked over some of the rock in the tank that were siliconed in place, but they fell off, so I removed them. So don't be surprised if you see a little bit of difference. So as you saw, I knocked over one of the corals in this tank while I was cleaning, but I just moved it up here and it's doing well. I also removed another coral that I had up there that just was not too happy. I went ahead and placed it in the main display and so that we'll have a better shot. I just wanted to overall reduce the bioload of this tank, as I think, you know, it was causing some issues with algae. I'm still contemplating removing the gobies and just placing them in the main display, but as for now, they're still really happy. It's just the two of them, and I have no issues with them. Shrimp, as well as the hermit crabs and the emerald crab, are all doing rather well. So what I removed from the tank, other than that Euphilia, I did remove a Ricordia that I had over in the right corner of this tank. It was a multicolored Ricordia. I went ahead and moved it to my main display. It's not doing too well, so we will see how it does moving forward. I also had a Stylophora in here that I noticed wasn't doing well, and I also went ahead and moved that to the main display, and it's doing okay, but I will be doing some moving around in the tank to try and get it to where it needs to be. But as you can see, for now, everything in the tank is doing well. Everyone's happy now that I just did a water change. Well, except for the Euphilia, they're not liking the water change, but they should be okay. I also went ahead and removed the two bumblebee snails in here. I placed them in the 2-in-1 because they like to come on top of the zoas, and that kept the zoas closed and unhappy, and I didn't like that. I like seeing everything to be thriving and happy, so I went ahead and removed both of them. As for that, I had introduced 3 Astrea snails in here. 2 of them had died, 1 is still surviving, and I believe that everyone in here is going to pull through rather nicely. As far as the refugium, algae is growing really well, copepods are doing really well. This grow light's doing a pretty decent job, and I can't really complain. Filtration wise, everything's doing well. Like I said, return pump can be a bit noisy. It's actually really quiet right now, and I'm surprised, and I'm planning on replacing that with a J-Cod 2000. So that's pretty much it for the tank at the moment. Everything is okay. This is my Rico Pico 2.0 for the Rico's Nano Tank Challenge 2018 with some changes. So let me know if you like the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and just leave some comments below. Just give me a little bit of feedback. I would appreciate it. So let me know what you would have done differently with this tank if you were to have built it, and what you like and do not like about it, and what other corals should you do you think that I should go ahead and put in here? I'm thinking of just keeping it like this, allowing the euphyllias to grow out as well as the zoas. If you look at this purple tip green hammer, and the bottom left right there is a little baby head growing. I actually have about 4 little heads growing on there. I'm really excited to see how that goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing some water changes as well as dosing some type of supplement. I'm using Calc Plus 2 at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and keep dosing that, just see how everything goes. As far as feeding, I feed these guys some flakes, but majority I feed them mysis, and everyone in this tank loves their mysis. I really have no other issues other than algae, but that's because I don't really do any maintenance on this tank. Probably do water changes maybe once a month, and that's why I went ahead and reduced some of the corals, because no point in putting corals that aren't able to withstand those minimal water changes and low nutrient levels. As far as the sump, I'm just utilizing some ceramic media in there, as well as a bag of carbon, and that's pretty much it for that. Everything else is very minimal. The tank looks complicated, but it's really rather simplistic. Just some charcoal, some ceramic media, refugium, and some rubble, and a couple livestock. So let me know if you like it. Thank you guys. Have a good one.